Welcome to the Good Karma Sportfishing podcast. I'm your host, Captain Ryan Van Fleet.
And welcome to the Good Karma Success Coach podcast. I'm your host, Melinda Van Fleet. Well, happy September.
Happy September, guys. Labor Day weekend.
Yes.
And we're not evacuating.
I know. It's bananas when we think about all the things that tend to happen around September 1st, right? So the other day, I realized it was Ryan and I's 13-year anniversary of leaving Minneapolis. We actually drove out of our parking lot, 110 West Grant, downtown Minneapolis, on August 31st, 2009, and began our journey down here. So I feel like there's always something that we're celebrating, and this time of year is kind of wild. Like last year, I mean, for anyone who's been listening to this podcast for a long time, or even last year was a little painful for us because Ryan hurt his arm and we had problems with some mechanical things. And as Ryan just mentioned, we had a hurricane, 4 years ago?
Yeah.
So, yeah, there's always something going on around this time of year.
Yeah, I don't know what it is, man. September's a tricky month in the Keys, and just tricky month, it seems like. I don't know.
Mm-hmm. But I am super excited for September. You and I had an amazing August, not just professionally, but personally. I really feel like a lot of awakenings happening for us. We learned a lot. We grew really fast. And it's just really important to make sure that not only are you on a business journey or maybe on a fishing journey, if you listen to Ryan, and that's why you've tuned in, but also on a personal journey, on a life journey, and be open to those opportunities and really be aware, be consciously aware of what's going on around you and how are you behaving and how are you reacting and what are you saying yes and no to.
Yes.
And we've really been doing that
consciously.
So much conscious awareness.
Yep.
Yeah. Well, so as usual, we didn't really plan a big topic.
Nope.
But the one just keeps coming through to me. And I'm seeing it everywhere. So that's why I do think it's really important to have this discussion and put some context around things, is the word should. And people feeling like they should do something, right?
Should. That sounds all so familiar. Should.
So give us some context on your feelings of the word should, Captain Ryan. To maybe help someone out there that is thinking they always have to say yes to something when it maybe isn't aligned with them. Maybe it doesn't feel good for them. Maybe it's not the right direction for them to take in their life or business.
Right. Should.
Yeah.
Should. I'm going to laugh again because it's so funny. The biggest example for me is mahi fishing. And there's just like, for myself, when I became a fishing guide, I was like, the other guides that at the time, I don't work with any other guides anymore for a reason. And the guides were like, well, it's time to go mahi fishing. You getting your gear ready? I was like, what do you mean? So, yeah, this is what we do. This is what we all do. We go mahi.
Summer.
In the summer. We all go mahi fishing. I was like, do I have to? There's so many other things I can do. So I fell into that. I fell into having to push my clients out there, and I had clientele of people that wanted to go mahi fishing, and I got to tell you what, it was painful because my first year, there were a lot of fish. It was pretty easy fishing the first couple years. And then the third year got a little tougher. Fourth year was like, whoa, what's going on? I would say by year 5, the first year that those fish didn't show up, everybody was in like some sort of chaotic panic.
Yes, it's true.
It was like they were having meetings at Bud and Mary's warehouse meetings saying that the mahi have disappeared, and there was all this stuff. There were petitions going around. It was just total chaos as far as the fishing guides go, because those guys didn't like getting their ass kicked out there, and they were having to come back and go bottom fishing. Those guys don't like to do that. So the mates don't like to chum. They don't like to clean the boat. So I know that personally, by the way. So, but anyways, I pivoted.
You went against the grain.
I went against the grain, and I loved to bottom fish as a kid. You know, I loved to go catfishing with my dad. I love everything about it. I love it. I love the bottom fish. That was it. So I was like, oh, this is exciting. I get the pivot. But then I realized it was my choice. It was not the other guide's choice what I did. And I caught total hell for like not following the grain. So, but what a lot of people don't know about is, like, I've talked about this before. I would take clients all the way out there, and then when they're fishing for small dolphin, they're like, well, this is it? So you're already out there 20 miles, and then they want to go bottom fishing. That was like on 90% of my trips, and the people were bored as hell. And
because trolling is boring.
And trolling's boring. And then right now, the guys that don't know how to troll are running around the ocean, and you're not fishing. You're just the guide in the tower is having the most fun because he's on the hunting trip. You guys are just there paying for his fuel bill. Yeah. and he's fishing, not you guys. And I've been getting reports from my clients that have been fishing with other people that, you know, and then there's so much pressure on the guides right now to produce racks of dolphins so they can sell trips that the mates are casting for them, doing all that stuff, and then handing them the rod. And then if they miss, and the guide's getting pissed, and because there's a lot of pressure on that guide to produce and hang up racks of fish and sell through Instagram, because a lot of guys have built their business on Instagram.
Right. But there's even more to it that people don't understand.
A lot more. Ryan
briefly mentioned the fuel. Which, most people have some common sense around that nowadays, right? But a lot of people also don't understand the hours on an engine.
Yep, hours on an engine.
And that a fuel, oil change, I should say, an oil change in service on an engine is... it could be like $400, $500 an engine. So it's not like you just go to Jiffy Lube and it's $80, $90, whatever the price is now for your car. Like, it's super expensive. And then you have to get a new engine after so many hours. And that's like a whole other like process that's not exciting or fun in my world. So there's just like a whole lot there. And mahi fishing is really about getting lucky and finding debris.
Yeah.
Oh my God. Face it.
It's so funny.
It's like, where's the debris? Oh, there's a bamboo stick out there, or someone dropped a bucket.
Yeah.
Like I have been fishing enough times to totally know this, and I would never say I'm like an expert.
Yeah.
Like, oh my God, there's debris. So captains are going, oh, there's a piece of debris.
Yeah.
And that's what you're looking for. You're looking for burrs and debris. The strategy is so different than what Ryan now puts together as a trip. So it's really, you kind of freaking got lucky. Let's face it.
Yeah.
So you're going to drive around for hours trying to get lucky versus having a strategy and doing something. Ryan stopped it. He stopped the should. He stopped that whole mental game that he should do this just because it's summer.
Yep. I'm 100% fine now. I don't rule out dolphin fishing.
No.
I don't rule it out. But it doesn't make any sense because the migration patterns are way off. Guys, there's still plenty of dolphin out there. Things have changed. And I've tried to tell people this hundreds, and I just give up. So fish's patterns have changed. The schools arrive later in the fall. There's just a lot more to it. Hell, we had amazing dolphin fishing in February last year. We had a spring push, and then there was a good push in June, but then they disappeared. So what you see right now are guys finding debris. Mm-hmm. So that's debris. Anybody can do that, guys. Anybody can do that, and you don't have to be like a superhero to do that. The trick is you got to get way south, get down there before any of the boats get down there. Have a pair of binoculars, and you kind of know where it's going to be at based on the current. And that's it, man.
So how did you like reframe like when someone does this to you, and even the other day, like you had someone that
I had somebody the other day that
they canceled, right?
Yeah,
you have a feeling they canceled once they saw your Instagram, and that's not with mahi pictures.
Yeah, because there was no mahi pictures, and I'm like, that client's not for me. He would have been unhappy because they didn't want to go mahi fishing, and. That's it.
You've gotten stronger.
I'm okay with it. It's like I have to be able to have to be focused. I got to know that there's like, if it's a hunting trip, you might as well go rent a boat and go hunting. So here's the thing is that there's more to it. Okay. So if there's dolphin there and in good numbers, and I feel it's worth it, I got a good bead on where they're at, then you go. Mm-hmm. So
you took your power back to make the decision. So it's really important for anyone out there to start really thinking about how are you living your life? How are you responding to people? And are you just saying yes to everything as it comes along your way? Because it may not be what is really right for you. So there's so much that is packed into this concept, and I realize it's just a podcast, but the mahi fishing is definitely something that had come up a lot for Ryan years ago, and he really worked on reframing and shifting his mindset around, and it just popped up the other day with that client. So it was just a very interesting thing that I'm like, okay, we need to have this discussion to open up the door on making people and helping people, I should say, realize like you don't need to do all these things that other people are saying you should do. Like, use your own judgment, follow your own intuition. If you need to take some time to think about it and think, does this really make sense? Like, example with the business and the engines and the gas money and how hard it is to find fish and people just get lucky. Like, what really makes sense, and go with that and stick to it. So I have created audios. Going to be releasing a few more this weekend. So by the time this podcast comes out, there'll be more links. But the first one I released is called Freedom from Overthinking. And these are just self-paced audios that you can, obviously listen to for your whole lifetime. It's lifetime access. And it is to nip at some of these things on a little bit deeper level, a beyond basic level. And I've also started masterclass workshops that I'm super excited for. The month of September is about social media. The month of October is about visibility. And these workshops also go on a little deeper level. The first day will always be the workshop piece, and the second day will be the Q&A, which is proximity to me over Zoom, live over Zoom, or if you can't make it, you get the recording, and it's lifetime. Again, it's lifetime. So these are just ways that I've expanded my practice and in terms of like really helping people get to the next level, because I do believe that there's a lot of people out there that listen to this podcast, and we're super grateful, that are just really like, okay, how can I really grow and expand and transform and evolve even faster? So I've created these things so you can be a part of this journey as well, because there's just so much amazing opportunity out there. If you, number one, just get out of your left brain and stop overthinking, hence why I created that Audible first. But also just really use tools and embody them so you can really transform. That's really it. It's about transformation. And that's why Ryan and I started to do this podcast together, so we could share our transformative journeys with all of you.
Yes.
And you've got a special for Labor Day.
I do. I have an awesome special, an awesome Labor Day special. And what it is that I made an audio. I'm revealing my top secret snapper bait. It's also an awesome bait for tarpon. Just an awesome bait, and my clients have been sworn to secrecy about it. Even the ones that fish with me, they don't know the top side of how it really works. So, sorry guys, I didn't tell you the full story. But, yeah, so the special is that when you purchase $150 worth of courses, then you will get the audio. I will email you the audio after I see the receipt, and I will also am going to sell the audio separate. And yeah, so it'll be available for you. Has a separate audio for $25. That's an amazing price for what I'm going to share.
Yeah, I remember when you first figured this out, how excited you were. It was bananas. I was like, what is getting delivered to our house, and what are you doing? It was like out of the box that I had never I was like, wow. Okay.
I'll teach you the mad science.
Mad scientist.
Oh my God.
Ryan.
It works so good.
Mad scientist vibe.
It works so good. I can't wait for you guys to see the pictures what you guys are going to catch with it. The mangroves love this stuff. So within that audio, I'm going to share my suppliers and a couple other things. So where you can get started right away. But yeah.
Yep, and I forgot to mention, so I'll just mention it now too. So all links for things are in the show notes. And to keep up with me, it's probably the easiest if you're not following me on social media, is just to check out my website. On my homepage, I created sections for all the things I have going on, including one-on-one coaching. There's various program options there. As I mentioned, the workshop masterclasses, the audibles, there's a free Believe and Take Action daily guide, which is amazing. I brought back my newsletter. I brought back Beyond Basic private Facebook group that is free. So lots of fun stuff. Lots going on. We had a really awesome August in terms of leveling up and personal development and really just understanding what we should and should not be doing.
That's right.
To circle back.
That's right.
And tie it up with a nice bow.
Yep. It all takes work.
It all takes work. And that's the thing too, is recognizing what is work that fuels you and you like to do, and what is work that does not feel good to you. Mm-hmm. And that is what you should not be doing. Don't listen to people. So really understanding that, and that there's a differentiation in the energy and where you're aligned is super important. And that's actually something I would help someone with more in a one-on-one environment, because it can go really deep. But anyhow.
Yep.
So, all right. Well, anything else, Captain Ryan?
I got to go wahoo fishing yesterday.
Oh, that was so awesome.
So I tell the story about how I went.
You can tell the story.
Oh my gosh.
As long as it's tight.
Yeah, it's very tight. So I have a private Facebook group. And for you guys that aren't in it, you're missing out. So with the Good Karma rigging crew, we don't share a lot of stuff. So we keep it within the group. And within that group, we get special fishing reports that aren't available to anybody from locals that are in the group. And as far as guys that are in the group, they're very, our reports are a lot different. So I got a report, and I got up in the morning, seen it early, and I didn't have any gear ready or anything like that.
You did not. I
shifted a couple reels. I didn't have any I didn't even know if my downriggers even worked. I was not ready to go wahoo fishing, but I tossed 2 rods. Actually, I took 3 rods. One I didn't use, and I slipped them on with wrenches, and I was I threw a bunch of crap in a cooler and took off. And
he kept saying, I'm not ready. And I kept saying, just fucking go.
Yeah.
Go. Get out of the house. Go. And so I knew he was going to go to wahoo. I knew because of my Claire's. But
I always feel guilty when I go fishing by myself. So, but I was like, yeah, I haven't been by myself, and I really do like to troll, but I don't like but I got to do it when I feel right. And I felt right yesterday, and I got 2 wahoo bites. I caught them both. One was 35 pounds, and one was 30. The FWC was at the dock waiting for me to sample. So you guys, the only way I knew how much they weighed was because they sampled me quite frequently at Tavernier Creek. So they had a scale yesterday, and the guy was very helpful in putting it up on the scale.
Yeah,
so,
it was awesome. And and not only do we have nice dinner then for the weekend, but what lights us up, and we've talked about this before, and it's so important. And if you didn't listen to my gratitude podcast last week on Good Karma Success Coach, please do. Gratitude is the biggest thing that you can have in this lifetime, just gratitude. And we are always so grateful for everyone at the marina that helps us. And so when Ryan catches that much fish, we just really love that we can share it with everyone else at the marina, and especially Cruz. Shout out to Cruz. It is a really big deal. It's a really big deal, and that makes it even more special than the actual catching or us even having dinner. So share with others. Share with others.
Don't be greedy.
So anyhow, all right. Well, follow me. I'm on Facebook, Instagram, LinkedIn, Twitter. And as I said, melindavanfleet.com or goodkarmasuccesscoach.com is my websites. I have 2 websites because I have 2 podcasts. My other podcast is called Crush It in Sales. And Ryan, how should people get in touch with you?
You can email me at goodkarmaryan@gmail.com, or you can follow me on Instagram at goodkarmasportfishing_FL_keys. And my website is goodkarmasportfishing.com.
Awesome. So until next time.
Anytime you're fishing, it's all good.
Thanks for listening.
Thanks, guys.